Welcome to MCSC TV. Now guys, this video is about Kepa, so let's get into it. So obviously guys, yesterday, let's be honest, the result hasn't really been focused on, Chelsea's performance hasn't really been focused on, that's all been pushed to the side, and obviously the focus point has been Kepa. And let's be honest, the game is going to be remembered for what happened with Kepa yesterday. It's hit all the headlines. And I suppose it has been blown out of proportion a little bit, but it is what it is. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really have an opinion about it yesterday. Number one, I couldn't 100% see what was going on. The situation was really confusing. Cabello was on the sideline waiting to come on. On the big electronic screens, it said substitution being made. I didn't know that Sarri went storm down the touchline. I didn't know that Rudiger was having to hold Sarri back before the penalty shootout. I didn't know any of that. And obviously, I didn't really know what Sarri said in his press conference or anything. So I didn't really have an opinion on it. But after seeing highlights and stuff today of what happened and what Sarri said, I have got more of an opinion on it now. And I'm going to say that now, I suppose. But make sure to let me know down below, guys, your thoughts and opinions on it. How you feel about it. Was Kepa in the right? Was he in the wrong? Do you think it was miscommunication? Or do you think Sarri was just trying to cover it up? Now, guys, in my opinion, from what I've obviously watched highlights-wise, etc., I don't think, well, let's say this. When I was there yesterday and I saw Kepa stay on the pitch, obviously I saw the big electronic screen and everything, it felt right. Obviously, he'd played really well for 90 minutes. It stops obviously goals from going in. He played well in the extra time. He did really well. However, if your manager is telling you to come off the pitch, you come off. Now, it's some of people have been saying, oh, Sarri did it for tactical reasons, and also because he had cramp, an injury, and there's been many things said, and obviously because Cabello's better at saving penalties. However, if your manager tells you to come off the pitch, you do that, you know? And it's quite embarrassing how Kepa was telling Sarri what to do. Like, Sarri's in charge. Sarri manages the team. And it's embarrassing because he undermined him in front of everyone. It's not as if it was just a small crowd. It was Wembley Stadium. Everyone was focused on this cup final. And Kepa was just drawing up a massive fuss. It's really like, it's actually horrible to watch in a way. It actually makes me feel so uncomfortable to watch because you can just see all the tension and the frustration, and then to see Sarri having to be held back, you could see how mad he was. It's an embarrassing situation for Chelsea. I mean, things are already at a low web anyways. I mean, Sarri's job's on the line. This was the making or breaking of his Chelsea future in some respects, and Kepa just put more pressure on Sarri by doing that. However, people are saying that Sarri should have stood his ground more. People like Pep Guardiola wouldn't have put up with that. If their player refused to come off, you stand on the touchline and you make sure they come off. It's not Kepa's choice at the end of the day. And for him to be so adamant and stand firmly grounded on that field in front of everyone when his manager's telling him to come off is embarrassing within itself. I'm not undermining Kepa in any way because, as I said, his performance was marvellous and I thought he was doing the right thing at the time. When you reflect on it, it really wasn't. He was undermining Sarri. Sarri knows what he was doing, and who knows, the penalty shootout might have gone differently if Kepa come off. Now, obviously we can't really sit there and sit here and say that now because what's done's done and there's no going back, but at the end of the day things might have gone differently, and for Kepa to completely undermine Sarri like that, again, it's quite frustrating and disappointing. It kind of shows that player and manager divide when the players are making their own decisions. Well, Kepa, as I said, you do as you kind of told, you know. And when we play Tottenham this week, it's going to be interesting to actually see what Sarri does. Does he play him? Does Cabello start? This is going to cause a lot of friction. I'd be really interested to see if when the boys were in training today, if anything was actually said. But Sarri obviously covered everything up in his press conference and said that, well, it was just a miscommunication, a misunderstanding, but it wasn't really a miscommunication. Obviously, he's just trying to cover things up, to cover his back and the players' back. He doesn't want to cause a bit of frustration there. However, it wasn't miscommunication. Kepa should have come off and that was it. And also, like, Kepa must have been tired. However, yeah, he wanted to stay on for the penalty shootout, but again, was that really the right decision? Kepa was trying to say he wasn't injured, and really, he probably was, like, had a bit of an injury. You'd have just come off, and I don't think it's right, because if your manager tells you come off, you come off. You don't make that decision yourself. And as I said, it obviously really would have embarrassed the players and unsettled them. People are saying, again, that might have affected the penalty shootout, because they might have got really unsettled by what he was doing, because it went on for a good couple of minutes. And as I said, the big electronic screen was changing, saying substitution. God knows how Cabello felt. Like, he was stood there ready to come on in a cup final, really, like, hyping up, ready to come on. And it was good on Cabello, you know. He stood there, he held his ground, and he didn't kick up a fuss. Because if he'd kicked up a fuss as well, saying, get him off, it's my time to come on, then things would have been even worse. But yeah, it was already, well, a situation that was very intense, because obviously Sarri had to be held back from him before the penalty shootout, and it's just disappointing that Kepa didn't listen to him. As I said, Kepa's a great goalkeeper, but if your manager tells you to do something, he knows what he's doing, he's been watching the full game, you do it. And as I said, it's not as if Kepa was the hero out of it all. I don't think anyone would have been talking about it if we'd won it, the cup, because everyone would have said, oh, that was the best decision that Kepa made, making it for himself. If Kepa had saved more penalties from going in and we'd actually won the cup, I don't think it would have been this much of a raucous, but it is now, because of us obviously losing it, and obviously just the absolute scene. Yeah, it's just embarrassing in a way, and it undermines Sarri, and it shows us lacking in unity as well, because when you kind of having an argument with your own manager across the pitch in front of thousands and thousands of people, not just in the stadium but on TV across the world, it's a joke. And yeah, it's definitely a big talking point, but I don't think Kepa was in the right, even though he had a good performance. And as I said, it felt right at the time. It wasn't okay. You need to come off. If your manager tells you to come off, you come off. It's as simple as that. But yeah, that's enough about the situation, I suppose. But I just wanted to have my say on it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below all your thoughts and opinions. Do you think Kepa was in the right or wrong? Do you think it was miscommunication, or do you think Sarri's just trying to cover things up? But as I said, it'll be interesting to see if he actually does start against Spurs on Wednesday. Because as I said, this has probably caused a lot of friction. But let's just wait and see. Up the Chels. Thanks.